Don't you know who you're dealing with? You can't win. Smelvin?
Melvin? Don't call me Smelvin! My name is Melvin! Call me Melvin! Psychologically, I felt uncomfortable about the possibility of fighting my own father. I felt even more uncomfortable when my father suddenly began taking his clothes off. Then he started futzing with his hair, and before I could say Sigmund Freud, my father put on this diaper. To see my own father in a diaper, whoa, what a toxic head trip.
I am the Big Mac. I am the big cheese. You might say that I am the Big Mac with cheese.
You're listening to the Mike Kara radio program, Eye on the Nation, proudly broadcasting from Woodridge, Illinois, USA, planet Earth.
I used to love this town and this neighborhood. The streets were safe. The schools were good. The mill was humming 24/7. I was foreman on the line 3 to 11. But 18 months and 2 days ago, the mill closed down and moved to Mexico. I paid my bills, I paid my dues, and I paid my share of taxes too. Now I can't buy my baby shoes. I got these red, white, and pink slip blues. I hide the pickup truck in Ricky Brown's garage.
Over on the next block,
'Cause there's a repo man to dodge. I slip out the back door. Lord, I never thought I'd live to see this day. We're gonna need that truck when they come to take the house away. I paid my bills, I paid my dues, I paid my share of taxes too. Now I can't even buy my little baby shoes. I got these red, white, and damn pink slip blues. You know I love my country, and I'm not one to complain. But there's a lot of us that feel like we've been left stranded here, out in the rain. I paid my bills, I paid my dues, I paid my share of taxes too. Now I can't buy my kids no shoes. I got these red, white,
Welcome back to another edition of the Mike Kara Radio Show. I on the Nation. My guest today is a legendary Mr. Hank Williams Jr. Thanks so much for joining us, Hank. And you've got a lot of great things coming up, and we want to definitely talk about those things. And the first thing I have to say, Hank, very big fan, of course, growing up in the early to mid 80s in the Chicagoland area. I must say your music was always about relating to the working man, the blue collar man. Everyone could enjoy your music, but you could relate to just about anyone. And what's great is your next song, Red, White, and Pink Slip Blues, is no different. It's really powerful. I've listened to it, and why don't you tell us about the song?
Yeah, well, the best thing is when the listeners hear it themselves, I don't have to tout it, because, when they hear it, those are the best kind. Of course, the lyrics, all lyrics make songs and what's going on, and it's got a real hook in it, and the mills have shut down, and they have moved to Mexico, and I know what Gary, Indiana looks like, and half of Chicago and Detroit, and half of Music City right here, Music Row's for sale. So it's not just a localized thing. These come along every couple of years, and this is one of those very special ones that has just exploded.
Exactly. And now we want to talk about something that you have, is the Bocephus bailout. Tell us about this.
Well, actually, it's not a joke. It's for real. BocephusBailout.com. You can win $1,000 cash. You get $1,500 airfare. You get a nice Monday night football guitar. Might put a little bear on there for you. And you hang out with us, and you can sling T-shirts or set up the amps or do the band, or just sit back and take it in, do whatever you want, and go home $1,000 richer.
Oh, exactly. And we also want to let everyone know that you've got a new album coming out in June called 127 Rose Avenue. Could you tell us about that?
Yeah, it'll be out in, Red, White, Pink Slip is going to be a smash. But there's about 5 more on here, and please check out some of the others. There's one all about our young servicemen and women and our older vets called Forged by Fire, I recommend. 120, the reason it's called that, 127 Rose Avenue is my grandmother's address, Daddy's mama, and that song has a real special story behind it. And, there's like 6 or 7 of my originals on there. A little rock, a little country, a little fun, a little political statement, a little of this, and a whole lot of Hank Jr.
Oh, so that's great. And we, of course, would be remiss if we didn't tell all our listeners that you are very supportive of the troops, and it's great that, that's reflected in your music as well.
Yeah, when they send you pictures of Abrams tanks with Bocephus down the barrel, it's kind of special stuff. And the guys and say, man, company commanders say, you just don't know, buddy, that package you sent over here, what that does for my guys. It's 130 damn degrees. You got a flak vest on, sand everywhere. People trying to kill you from every angle. So I really, we share emails and all. America can survive, like my song.
Okay, and we're mentioning different things that you have coming up, Hank. Anything else that we should know that is coming up or you're working on? Or?
Well, this is the main thing. Is this single, 127 Rose Avenue CD, Monday Night Football will be on, and for 21 years. And my personal friend, Mr. Jay Cutler, you finally got a real quarterback in Beartown.
Yeah, okay. So let's see. Yeah, and we there's a website now. If anyone's interested in this Bocephus bailout, they visit a website and they could sign up. Then we're saying
that's it. That's all I got to do.
Oh, okay. So is there anything else, or before we head on out of here?
No, that's about it. Maybe the Cubs can get it together. I don't know. I got one of their jerseys I wore a while ago.
Oh, okay.
I used to go there, buddy, in the late 60s to Wrigley Field.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, this ain't my first rodeo. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe it'll get better. Maybe they can pull it on out.
Oh, okay. And so, yeah, finally, your song, Red, White, and Pig Slip Blues, is available on iTunes, so people can purchase that as well as other songs then?
Yeah, you bet it is. Check it out.
Okay, Hank, want to thank you so much for your time, and we look very much forward to, these songs coming out. And I want to say next time, if you happen to be in Chicago, in the Woodridge area, please stop. You always have an open invitation to my house for a long neck, a cold one, and I wish you nothing but the best and success with all you got going.
Well, thank you, Mike. I might go see my buddy Jay and come up at training camp, see if we can't get something happening.
Exactly. My guest has been Hank Williams Jr., and you've been listening to the Mike Kara Radio Show, Eye on the Nation, and catch us again next time. Welcome back to another edition of the Mike Kara Radio program, Eye on the Nation, and my guest today is Mr. Jack Hanna, who was the former director of the Columbus Zoo, as well as honorary director now, and also have some great television programs like Jack Hanna's Into the Wild, as well as Jack Hanna's Animal Adventures a few years back. And of course, we see Jack a lot on David Letterman, so it's great that you're able to kind of spread the word about animals and wildlife and conservation there. But I guess the question for you, Jack, is how did you get started with your love of animals? Where did your love of animals start?
Well, just like any young boy, you love it. Most people, I think, love animals, and those that don't love animals, sometimes I think something might be wrong with them. But everybody got his own cup of tea. But I started when I was a little boy, like I said, 6 or 7, outside of Knoxville, Tennessee, on a farm. And now that I look back, it was like a dream. It had a creek going through it, and I had some horses and cows and goats and rabbits and all sorts of things there, and just grew up loving them. And then went to work for a veterinarian when I was 11 years old, cleaning cages every summer, which I did for 5 summers. And then when I was about 16, 17 years old, I went to the Knoxville Zoo with him and fell in love with the zoo and the animals. And at that point, I decided someday I want to be a zookeeper. And so that's what I lived, that dream of being a zookeeper, and then a zoo curator, and then a zoo director, and then came to Columbus Zoo in Columbus, Ohio in 1978, where I've been ever since. And then as far as the television stuff started, I started about 1980 or so here in Columbus on local TV, and then just went to Good Morning America. They called me in 1983 and wanted me to do a show, and I did it. And I've been doing Good Morning America every month since 1983. We celebrate our golly day, what is that, 83, 93, 2025, almost 26 years now, every month doing that. And then David Letterman started in 1985. Back then, there weren't many animal people. Matter of fact, when I started my animal show, the series, Animal Adventures, in 1991, there were only 2 animal shows. Today, there's 44. So it shows you how that's grown. So then that's how I started TV. It was the first Good Morning America, then Letterman, then Larry King, 20 years now, Greta Van Susteren, and all the Fox stations, Ellen, Maury Povich, just do them all right now. Enjoy doing that along with a series. And then I also represent the Columbus Zoo. This is my home here in Columbus, Ohio. And then I live part-time in Montana, where I love to hike. So that's kind of what my life is like right now. I've written a lot of books. And just keeps me real busy. I do theater speeches around the country. I do like about 100 a year. This next week I've got like 8 or 9 of them the next 10 days around the country, from California to New York.
Oh, great. And of course, as we're mentioning, you could be seen on David Letterman, and you have a variety of animals that you bring to the show and various other shows. And, where do these animals come from, the Columbus Zoo then, or?
Yeah, it depends on where we are. Obviously, in California, they come from an accredited person out in California that does breeds a lot of animals. Is a tremendous guy who helps a lot of educational folks out there at SeaWorld, Busch Gardens. I use his animals on the West Coast, and I have people in Davenport, Iowa. I have people in Texas, Florida, New York, Iowa, all over the place. I'll use about 9 different people for my animals.
Oh, fantastic. And now you have a show, like we're saying, actually in the Chicago area. It's on WFLD Chicago Channel 32 every Saturday morning at 8:30. And this is, like we're saying, an unscripted kind of show. Exactly that. You're into the wild then. Yeah,
I'm not much of a scripted person. Jack Hanna's Into the Wild is a neat show. It's high definition. It's a show we're real proud of. It's more of a reality show of how we get to the places around the world we go to, whether it's Africa or Asia or Antarctica. It shows you how we get there, where we stay, what we eat. Whereas the other shows were real good shows for Animal Adventures is still on, by the way. But Into the Wild is more of a reality show, updated show. I use a lot of my family in the show, so that's the difference in the types of shows they are.
Oh, great. And yeah, you said a great word, family. So your family is very supportive of what you do, and they're getting involved in your adventures too, then.
Yeah, they really are. Obviously, when you get a little bit older, you want to be with your family as much as you can, so it's one way for me to do it. It's involve some of the family, and obviously a lot of them don't want to do it. I mean, not that they don't want to do it. TV's not their thing, so I use those that do, my wife, some of my daughters, that type of thing. And, it's been a lot of fun. It really has.
Oh, great. So, as we were saying, former director of the Columbus Zoo, and you still occasionally do some things with the Columbus Zoo then? Or?
Oh, yeah. I'm sitting here right now. This is my home base. The Columbus Zoo is my home. We're just, we everything is based out of here. All my people that we work with together here or do everything out of the offices here, and I'm on the board of directors here. And, just like I don't operate the day-to-day operation, but I'm very much involved with the zoo.
Oh, great. So I guess the question we have to ask you, Jack, what is, not difficult, but is it more difficult doing, running a zoo or doing what you're doing with all these TV shows and all these adventures, or is it all fun?
No, it's always been fun. Obviously, running a zoo of this size right now, the Columbus Zoo was voted the number one zoo in the country several weeks ago by USA Today Travel Guide, the number one zoo in the country out of 220. Now, there are a lot of zoos that are number one, by the way, not just the Columbus Zoo. A lot of zoos in this country are number one. So this was one magazine that decided to vote us number one. But anyway, running a zoo is exciting. It's different every day. It's a lot of work because you've got over, plus we have a water park here now, so we have over 1,400 employees here. So this is a major company. And so that is something I don't do. I don't run on a day-to-day basis. Now, as far as the other stuff I do as far as television, yes, that's, I'm my own boss and all that, but it's a lot of work as well. So you're trying to balance. I don't have one job. I have like 6 different jobs. So you try to balance all those jobs that deal with the animal world. And yes, it's different every day. That's what's exciting to work here. Is that you never know what I'm going to do. Some people say I cause chaos. Well, I don't mean to cause it. It just happens.
Yeah, and like we were saying with David Letterman, you have all these different animals, and basically you bring on these animals, as a source of entertainment, but as well as to educate people on these animals then? Right.
In other words, yes, it's entertainment. Letterman is entertainment, no doubt about that. But you also get to educate some folks that might not even care about animals. I like to, like Walt Disney said, what was he saying? He'd rather entertain. Which he wants to entertain and help people learn. Do you follow me? He wants people to learn from what you see on Disney, or you want people to learn from what I do. They're having fun in all my speeches I do throughout the country. You don't bring somebody to my speech and say, guess what? You're going to learn the Latin names of all the animals today. You're going to learn exactly where they live. You're going to take notes. That's not what you do with Jack Hanna. What I try to do is approach the animal world for the average person. I mean, the average reading ability in this country is about 8th or 9th grade. So you want to approach conservation in a way that they can understand why they should love the animal world. Not everybody understands the animal world, so you try to teach them that way in a simple way that's fun. So that's the purpose of a good zoo. That's why Columbus Zoo is one of the best zoos in the country, because when people come here, they don't come here to learn everything about the animals. They come here to see the animals, have fun with their family, have a picnic, and leaving here learning something about the animal world, just like at the aquarium or wherever it might be.
Exactly, and as we're saying, that what's great about you in the Columbus Zoo and conservation is there's not necessarily an age limit. There's kids, there's older adults, and with being on David Letterman as well as your Saturday morning, at least in the Chicagoland area, show that you could reach such a wide variety of audiences.
Right. I mean, the American Zoo and Aquarium Association, the AZA in Washington, D.C., which is like the American Bar Association for lawyers. This is the head of all the zoos and aquariums in the country, and their figures show that 159 million people last year went to zoos. 159 million people. That's amazing. It's the biggest recreation in America, bigger than pro football, baseball, all put together. So you can see how people love to go to their zoos today. The zoos aren't like they were back in the 1930s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, even early 80s. We could only get prisoners to work at the Columbus Zoo hardly back then. But today, it's one of the most sought-after jobs in the country to work in the zoological field, at a zoo or aquarium. And so, we're real proud of that. And that tells you that people want to come here and they want to have fun. And when they leave here, they've learned something.
Exactly. And I guess the question I have to ask you, Jack, is there a particular animal that you show on all these different shows that you find yourself really fascinated? Again, I know you're fascinated with all your animals, but I mean, is there a particular animal that you find yourself showing over and over again?
Well, you got to remember that you got to remember something that for your viewers, listeners, that 99% of the animals in zoological parks and aquariums, 99% plus maybe 99.5%, come from other zoos and aquariums. They don't come from the wild, like some people say. They do not come from the wild. They come from other zoos and aquariums. And so we don't go out and pluck them out of the wild like some groups might tell you. We don't. And that's a neat thing about what we're learning right now in the zoos, as far as what we're learning about the animal world and how we can help the animals that we have left in the wild, because we need to do that very quickly. As far as my favorite animals, I love elephants, cats. I mean, I've had everything: birds, cockroaches. I mean, I've raised about everything there is to raise, but I'm fascinated by certain animals, yes.
Okay, Jack, I want to thank you so much for your time. And is there anything else we should know or you'd like to mention?
No, I just think that people, again, you have to have, as our new zoo director, Jeff Swanigan, says, you have to speak from the heart. You have to have the love for the animal world in order to save it. And the one thing that the zoological park does, or aquarium, the accredited ones that are accredited by the AZA, the American Zoo and Aquarium Association, so these are the ones that you can visit. You can rest assured your animals are in the best care in the world, and you can rest assured that you'll go there and have fun and leave there learning something. And that's what we've finally done in the zoo world. We finally caught on that people have to have fun, and then the learning and conservation will then follow. And that's what I want people to understand when they go to a zoo, that they will learn something, even though they won't know they're learning that the giraffe has the same number of vertebrae as a human being, that the elephant, the giraffe has the largest heart of any land mammal compared to size. So, the elephant has 30,000 muscles in his trunk, and the list goes on and on and on. So it's a fascinating world, the animal world, and that's what we want people to take away from a visit to the zoo, or even when they watch our series, Into the Wild, Jack Hanna's Into the Wild, they take something away from that.
Okay, Jack, I want to thank you so much for your time. My guest has been Jack Hanna, and you've been listening to the Mike Kara radio program, Eye on the Nation, and catch us again next time.
Sunshine sky, and there's a reason why I'm feeling so high. Must be the season when that love light shines all around us. So let that feeling grab you deep inside and send you reeling where your love can't hide, and then go stealing through the moonlit nights with your lover. Just let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show, and you'll know what I mean. It's the season. Let your love fly like a bird on the wing, and let your love bind you to all living things, and let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean. That's the reason. There's a reason for the warm, sweet nights, and there's a reason for the candle lights. Must be the season when those love lights shine all around us. So let that wonder take you into space and lay you under its loving embrace. Just feel the thunder as it warms your face. You can't hold back. Just let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show, and you'll know what I mean. It's the season. Let your love fly like a bird on the wing, and let your love bind you to all living things, and let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean. That's the reason. Just let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams, and let your love show, and
you'll know what I mean. It's the season. Let your love fly high like a bird on the wing, and let your love find you to all living things, and let your love shine, and you'll know what I mean. That's the reason. Just let your love flow like a mountain stream, and let your love grow with the smallest of dreams.
Well, welcome back to another edition of the Mike Carroll Radio Show, Eye on the Nation. Today, my guest is Mr. Howard Bellamy from the Bellamy Brothers. And first of all, Howard, how are you doing today?
Good, Mike. Yourself?
Oh, I'm doing just great, and we have a lot of things that we want to talk about, and there's some exciting things for you, too. First of all, we understand that you're releasing your second single from your Jesus is Coming gospel album, and we've got to talk about this single. It's called Lord Help Me Be the Kind of Person My Dog Thinks I Am. So first of all, why don't you tell us about this song? It sounds very interesting.
Well, that's a pretty high standard to live up to. We did our first ever gospel album, and we wanted to, it didn't want to redo the old classics like everybody usually re-records, the old hymns, which we love them, but we wanted to do something a little different. So we took it on ourselves to write this album, and so we included a little humor in it, throughout our career. We've always kept a little humor running through our songs, and Lord Help Me Be the Kind of Person My Dog Thinks I Am it's really about a recovering alcoholic. A lot of people don't pick up on that in the song. It's just this guy who is trying his hardest, to change, to turn himself around, and it's, he's to the point where really, of course, his dog thinks he's the best person in the world, like all of our dogs do. But and that's really what the song is about, is him trying to achieve that goal of being that person his dog thinks he is.
Oh, fantastic. And now we see that, you are releasing a gospel, album. I guess we best know you guys, as country artists, but it's great that you are expanding into to gospel, or have you always recorded gospel music?
We haven't always recorded gospel, but, it's what we grew up singing. That's really where we learned to sing, within the church. And so it's not a departure for us at all. It came very natural for us, and kind of going back full circle to the way we were raised and the kind of music we were raised on. It was really an enjoyable project to do. I think we had more fun doing this album. We recorded it on our ranch in Florida, and our mom's still around. She's 84, and she was quite happy to see us do a gospel album finally.
Oh, fantastic. So I guess the question I have to ask you, Howard, now you and David have been the Bellamy brothers, obviously your whole life as brothers, but I mean, as far as, your careers, were you always together, singing together professionally then?
Well, since, our entire career, as far as musical career, yes, our first hit record was 1976, and that was Let Your Love Flow. And, we started out then as calling ourselves the Bellamy Brothers. We had, of course, like you say, we've been together for a lifetime, but we had various bands growing up, through school. And, of course, I'm 5 years older than David, so there was a period where, I had to work and make a little money instead of just doing bands and music. And, we were in different various bands throughout the years. We had a band called Jericho. We had a band called Heterogeneous Grouping. We had a band called The Accidents. And somehow we always ended up being the only two left in the band, so we decided to call ourselves the Bellamy Brothers.
Oh, great. And one thing that we see here is that Let Your Love Flow was recently featured in a car TV ad for Barclay Bank, and it's now back on the song #1 on the charts in the UK then?
Yes, it's number one on the downloaded charts. It was downloaded more than any song in the UK, and number one on that chart was the sales chart, actually, and we're quite excited about that. After it's been 35 years, so that song's been really amazing, and we learned a new fact about that song this week we weren't aware of, that it is in the top 100 songs of the century and of airplay, and it has been played 5 million times according to the BMI source, which is it's a BMI is the organization who keeps track of airplay for records. So it's been played literally 5 million times. So that's a pretty amazing feat. It's number 68 out of the top 100 songs of the century.
Oh, great. And now I have to ask you, Howard, now you and David, do you write all of the songs yourself then, or you do all the songwriting, or?
Pretty much. Pretty much. We've pretty much written everything we've ever done, at least 99% of it. And it's what we enjoy doing. Luckily, we had a knack for it at a young age, and we write a lot. We're recording right now in our studio. We're actually leaving for Sweden on Wednesday here. We're going for our second European tour this year, but today we've actually been working in the studio on a new project, and we're doing an anthology album. It's going to have a bunch of new songs and some of the older hits together on it, and so we enjoy the writing process and recording process, and we enjoy live shows. I think we're very lucky in that we do something that we have a passion for doing. It never seems like work.
Yeah, and now I no way want to put you on the spot, Howard, but when are you going to be in Chicago? That's what I want to know.
Good question. Chicago. We have an Illinois date. I don't have my schedule right here with me, but you can, for anyone who's ever interested in our schedules, you can just go on BellamyBrothers.com, and our schedule is on there, our entire schedule. You can follow us around the world wherever we go, and so you can always keep up with us that way.
Oh, fantastic. And now we were mentioning Let Your Love Flow as well as some of your new songs. Are there any other songs of the Bellamy Brothers that we should know about or charted number one?
We have had 14 number one songs over the years. We've had 35 top 10 records over the years, and so, it is a pretty amazing feat. A lot of these facts just came into us. I think we never paid much attention to that, but as you get a little older, you like to look back and say, well, I did accomplish something, and so, we've had a pretty good run. I wouldn't trade our career with anyone's. We have been lucky in that we've been able to travel the world. We've had an international career as well as just as a domestic career. And it's led us to 60 countries around the world that we've traveled and played in, done shows in. So, it's the best of all worlds. We've got to make a living and see the world too.
Exactly, and I know we hit upon this a little earlier in the interview, but as far as your music, we're using the term country music, so you primarily think yourselves as country artists then? Well,
I think that's where we've got kind of pigeonholed more than we just think of ourselves as singer, songwriter, recording artists, and Let Your Love Flow is actually a number one pop record. So, categorizing music is something we never really cared for. It's just, you have to fall in some category. They have to put you somewhere. And we've had a lot of country hits, but we've had a lot of crossover hits as well around the world. So, it's been rather hard to really put us in a category, but I guess here in the States we are considered, a country act.
Oh, and yeah, we were mentioning that you tour all over the world and Sweden. So is there any other interesting places like in Africa or Russia or anywhere else that you've toured that you really say, wow, we're in this place?
Yeah, we've done all those places you mentioned. We've toured all over South Africa and still have a great career there. We are planning to possibly go back to South Africa again. We've played all over Asia. We've played all of the European countries. I mean, literally all of them. And we're leaving Wednesday. We're playing Sweden, Norway, Finland, the Faroe Islands, which is an island off of Denmark, and we're playing Germany and Switzerland. So it's a pretty extensive tour.
Right, and now those fans in all those European countries, then they're pretty familiar with your music, and they actually sing along with you at concerts then, or?
Yeah, we've been really fortunate in that we've had a great following overseas and worldwide. It's been a very unusual career. Let Your Love Flow was such a big international song. Is really the reason for our international success. It opened up all the doors for us overseas, and it was a #1 pop song in 15 countries around the world. So that's the reason we've been able to do that, is that one song.
Exactly. And now, Howard, as we get to the nitty-gritty, I respectfully have to ask you, do you plan on doing this for the rest of your life? I mean, you're putting out some great music and doing some great tours, so you plan on pretty much going for another 20 years or so, doing what you're doing?
Well, I guess we're going to go to where we can't go, kind of like the ever-ready bunny, until we just run out of charge. We're gonna keep going, and we still enjoy what we do, which and we've been lucky enough that we live on our ranch in Florida, and we have our old home place ranch, which has been in our family since 1870. So we have that to come back to, which has been it really has grounded us, I think, to have a place with such history in your family to come back to, and it's great to work around the world and still have your old home place to come to with all the memories. And so we really had an incredible career and an incredible life with we had great parents. I see things going on in the world today. I see broken families, and you just really wish everybody could have been raised the way you were, with that didn't have those problems. I think it makes a difference.
Oh, okay. And now as far as music goes, Bellamy Brothers music, now, if people would like to get your greatest hits, do you recommend going on the internet and getting a greatest hits album, or do you have any suggestions for us trying to get all of your hits on one CD?
Yeah, you can, of course, the best place to buy it these days is downloading, and if you don't know how, I'm sure you have a grandchild or a child that does. And it is the best way to get music these days. That's the way we get buy all of our CDs is downloading albums. And and you can go to iTunes, which has ours. In the next 2 weeks, we're going to have from our own website. You'll be able to download our tunes from our website. So it's and I recommend, if you want the whole package. We do have a collection of the greatest hits. We're just upon releasing an anthology album, like I was saying, in July, which will be available July, August, around and then. So there's a lot to choose from.
Okay, Howard. And any final thoughts or anything else we should know about the Bellamy Brothers?
Well, just thanks to all the fans for accepting us all these years. Without them, you wouldn't have done any of it. So we enjoy our fans, and most of them have become like a part of our family. After all these years, you go around and you see people you've seen come to your show for years, and they bring along kids and grandkids, so it just kind of keeps going. And so, yeah, thanks to all those fans, and looking forward to being in your neck of the woods.
Okay, that sounds great, Howard. My guest has been Howard Bellamy of the Bellamy Brothers, and you've been listening to the Mike Carroll radio program, Eye on the Nation, and please catch us again next time.
I try to get up every morning with a smile and apply the golden rule. But sometimes that old devil tempts me, and I go acting like a fool. Dear Jesus, I keep trying to be perfect, but I'm just a mortal man. Lord, help me be the kind of person my dog thinks I am. Sometimes I go to church on Sunday with Saturday's whiskey on my breath. But I keep praying and a promising to quit before I drink myself to death. Help me walk the straight and narrow, change this light into a lamp. Oh Lord, help me be the kind of person my dog thinks I am. I know he's just a mutt, but he don't judge me when times get pretty hard. Fetches my Bible, buries my liquor in the yard. Inside me, Lord, and I know that I'll be coming home someday. When I do, I pray you'll find a pair of wings for old Jake. Now the preacher's been real good to me, but I know who's really been there in a jam. Lord, help me be the kind of person my dog thinks I am. Dear Lord, help me be the kind of person my dog thinks I am.